Now, for the third week roundup of April 2024, let us go to the international issues. And one very surprising thing, but we have been discussing all along about the comments by the developed world, undermining and pointing out at the developing countries and underdeveloped countries about maintaining an equilibrium in sustaining the global warming situation. So last week we have seen suddenly in a desert place like Gulf, the heavy flooding coming almost, I think, 24 to 30 inches rainfall in Dubai, and airport and most of the houses got inundated, and it took more than 3-4 days for them to drain out the water and bringing back to normalcy and all. So this sort of sudden changes in climate and impacting the areas over there is a big question to be addressed by all countries, developing and underdeveloped countries together. In fact, in a last discussion also, you have clearly analyzed about the Guyana, what the European community asking them not to deforest their forests and all that, and Guyana, when BBC correspondent was interviewing, and he immediately retorted saying that we have got a beautiful greenery developed much better than what the European countries have done and all that. What do you think this? See, we should take a policy and conscious policy that the equilibrium should be maintained as far as green gases and other things are concerned, so that we will not see this sort of sudden changes in the climate and atmospheric conditions and bringing disaster situation to the respective countries or localities and all that.
Yeah, climate change, biodiversity conservation, greenhouse gases, these are the areas where you see the Western hypocrisy at its best. They want all these to be reduced, contained, but they don't want to do any sacrifice for that. After all, the greenhouse gases, who emitted most per person per capita, it's the West. All their wealth is built upon environmental destruction, pollution of the atmosphere. Having reached a certain level of standard of living, they don't want to give it up. They want the South, the developing countries, to bear most of the costs of reduction of these greenhouse gases and going over to green technologies. Till now, they also had this smugness. This whole climate change is not so much our problem than the problem of the global South. Maybe some small islands in Pacific Ocean or somewhere else, Maldives, etc., may get submerged in case there is glaciers are going to melt and water levels are going to increase. Not so much our problem. Similarly, because of degradation, forest fires and others happen, they will happen only in these places, and their levels of income will get distributed. That's not our problem. But like today, the things that are happening in the world in terms of climate change are making it totally unpredictable. It can hit anyone at any place. There can be sudden rains in Dubai. There can be snow falling in some desert areas. There could be heat waves in France and England. So now they realize there can be drought. Last time there was a big drought in whole of Europe, and then followed by tremendous floods. So now they know they are as much vulnerable as the global south because of climate change and these emissions. So at least I hope now they will take a more genuine concern about containing these greenhouse gases emission and then the environmental change and climate change, because it's not just going to affect the south, it is also going to affect the wealthy north. And that's why recently in The Economist also he has run a total lead story how climate change is going to result in higher insurance premium for the housing in the West also.
Thank you very much.